Welcome back to the Road Show. This morning in the buzz, President Obama has pledged to give Rhode Island as much federal help as it needs to recover from all this flooding. And we've learned that the president talked briefly with Governor Kucheri by phone last night, making the call in the middle of his New England trip yesterday. But while he met with emergency workers up in Massachusetts, he didn't come to see the flood damage here in Rhode Island. And that has some victims wondering if maybe the state's been snubbed. Take a look.
From what I heard, Rhode Island has been a lot worse, and I don't see why not. Why he wouldn't come down this way.
To see what's going on down here, you know, how bad it is and how many people need help.
What is more important than having the president here is having his money here. Whether he's in here physically or not, we want federal money.
All right, so what do you guys think? What do you think, Ben?
Well, I think...
Were we snubbed here?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to call it a snub. I mean, he did pledge to give us money.
Janet Napolitano was here today.
Yep, which is the big thing, that we're going to get the financial backing that we need to straighten this situation out. You know, it would have been nice if he came and saw it, but he knows what's going on. I think it might have almost been more of a distraction. I mean, our airport area was already closed. I mean, to land the Air Force One in there and to shut down all the highways and have him
if you're the
shipped
president,
around.
you can do it.
You can. You know, I mean, yeah, you're right. If anybody can do it, it's him. I think it would have been nice if he came, but I don't think there needs to be an outcry for the fact he didn't show up. I don't think it was a snub.
What do you think, Pat?
Photo op. It would have been a photo op if he came here. No need for him to come here. Would have been nice, sure, great, whatever.
Yep.
But like Ben said, the commotion involved with the 15 cars in the motorcade, the highways closed down anyway. You know, send the money. We don't need to see him here. Would have I just think it would have caused more of a problem than it would have been of a
95
solution.
was a disaster in general.
And you know what? His buddy is Deval Patrick up in Massachusetts. They're tight. He was up there raising money. That was on his agenda.
It wasn't like he flew into Massachusetts just to see the damage in Fall River. He was going to Boston anyway to go to a fundraising event, and so they kind of went to Fall River as a detour to see the flooding because it was so serious. But you know, here's the other thing. We were I mean, it's hard to say this looking at these pictures, but really, in this state, we were so very lucky. We didn't lose a single person to this very disastrous flooding. There were a couple of car accidents on the highway, but no loss of life, which is the #1 concern. The things can be replaced, and that can be replaced when we have Governor Kucheri fighting for us, when we have Patrick Kennedy
he was outstanding
fighting
yesterday.
for us. Yeah, you know, it was funny because I thought it was very interesting the way that he was making the comments.
He's on his game for a guy that's stepping down.
Here's what I kind of
saw. He's brilliant.
Here's why I thought this was very interesting. And Patrick and I were talking about this as we were watching the news conference and anchoring that yesterday. You know, the national media, here's the name Kennedy, they're going to take a snippet of his sound. So while it kind of looked magnified in the setting of that news conference, you know, Patrick Kennedy knew that the national media was going to cut up into their little sound bites, and he was going to make a big stink.
We're used to it around here. But nationwide,
it would, you know, it really plays well for all those evening talk shows when everybody's fighting back and forth. And listen, if it gets us the money that we need to help recover,
that's
more power to them.
That's the important thing. We got the money which we need to straighten this situation out. And you know, like you said, like I said, I think it would have just been more commotion if Obama did make an appearance.
Well, I tell you what, Courtney, I know that people are still talking about the flooding this morning on the live blog.
They are, and you know, I was curious because actually more people didn't think that we got snubbed. They're just really glad that we have this federal aid right now to help out the state. So let me read a few comments right now from the live blog on foxprovidence.com. And Lisa says, even though we didn't come visit, at least we got federal aid. That is more important. But Smokey Wolf says he should have stopped here and at least acknowledged us. I mean, we have one of the highest rates in unemployment right now. With all this weather, we're going to have even more of it. We may lose more businesses and more residents from Rhode Island because of the flooding. And Joseph Butera says, I think he could have stopped by, but at least he called the governor. So that's where some of our bloggers and viewers stand right now on our website. Here's the poll that you can vote in. Should President Obama have visited Rhode Island's hardest hit areas to see the flood damage? A, yes, a visit from Obama may help victims, or B, no, federal aid for Rhode Island is more important. You can weigh in also on Facebook if you're already on that website today. We've got about 12 comments so far. And Jonathan Schermerhorn says, absolutely, that's what leadership does. And Adam Blessing said yes. Instead, he goes to Massachusetts. He's calling that weak. And Pamela Burkett says, as even the national news reported Rhode Island was hit the worst, yes, absolutely, he should have visited. So, of course, both sides, as usual, as to where they stand. But if you want to weigh in, you can do so. I'll be back with those poll results at the end of the show.